The dog, and in the bottom right, herO. This is a finals, which means that this is a best of 5 from the ESL Open Cup KR. So hello, welcome. You guys are ready for some games, some StarCraft. Let's get this party started. Woohoo! Amazing. So, a bit of PvZ action then. We obviously just got to see quite a few little games of TVZ. As you have the probe coming back around this side. Let's see what's going on. Entry goes down, so it's going to be obviously forced out of location initially as well, so that's one of the things that happens here. So yeah, probe coming around, trying to see what's going on. Nothing too exciting just yet. And that probe. Ooh, now he gets caught by the drones. The drones really give their best to get a little bit of a nibble going there, but unfortunately will not quite be able to, so a little unfortunate. As you do see. Oh, little droney moving on by. Yeah, probe moving around. Just having a little bit of a scout to see what's up, see what's happening. And obviously just trying to keep on top of just what is taking place here, so making sure nothing too crazy or anything too random happens. Just keeping on top of that for these early few moments. ZvP continues to shit across the map. There's a target opening here from herO as well, so getting to see a little bit of just what we're going into in these early stages. Nothing too crazy just yet. You see that Deb just hitting on the hatchery on the natural. Obviously nothing too big of a deal just there. As we continue to work our way through. Yeah, just gonna have the adept making its way by and trying to potentially get something done. So again, a bit of pressure, just gonna get rid of an overlord, get rid of some of this vision that's coming through for the moment. Again, nothing really overly wild just yet. It's going to be seeing a Queen Kill coming up, Evo Chamber, a few more Lings on the way in. It's going to be seeing Twilight Council as a setup from herO behind all these Oracles, so it's going to be getting into that pretty quickly for just a moment or two. The Lings make their way across this other side. It's going to be seen again, Twilight Council, Forge, the Nexus all being brought into play right here. A couple of additional probes being brought up as well as the melee upgrade gets started too. It's just getting all of this underway for now. Ling's going to make a play looking for this base, and they actually kind of come in from two angles, but the extra warp-in was there. The Oracles were on the way back. There wasn't really much potential for herO at the start of this game, I don't feel like. There's again another team kill here, by the way. It feels like we've had almost non-stop action in that regard. getting underway. See a couple of queens continuing through for a few moments. That's going to be seeing the Lings heading back for a few moments here as well. Back over this other side and just seeing what we can do. Oracle's trying to get some damage done, of course, so just try and continue with some hurt here and there wherever possible. Our melee upgrade is already, what, over halfway done, so these Lings are going to be powering up very soon. As you see, our Baneling Nest is still being brought into play as well, so all of this coming out for now. All the setup being done. It's going to be seeing our Lings still nibbling their way through this rocks. And again, just opening the map here on Babylon, the more you can open this map, the better it's typically going to be for you. As a Zerg player, you're happy to be able to set up surrounds, counterattacks, just other pathways being put into use is almost always going to be good, right? So, just seeing a little bit of that as we begin. Lings actually get into the base, which is obviously a problem for herO, so now he has to go and deal with that, and that just slows you down in some of the other ways that you wouldn't usually feel, you know, pressure to deal with. So it's going to be a little bit painful, sure. Well, these Stalkers getting set up as well as we continue to get ready to roll here. We've seen our Stalkers continue to push back some of these Lings. I mean, supply overall is actually pretty even. Doc's given up a lot of units to try and keep this harassment going his way. And obviously that does come at a price. So that's one thing that we've been seeing here so far. As you can see, the amount of Lings given up. He's given up 49 Lings for all of this harass. The resource lost has not been super efficient out of Doc, quite frankly. Which, again, I guess you could probably say is a little bit surprising, because it's been... Doc's been able to choose these fights. It's not like he's been forced into bad fights. He's just been choosing fights that actually aren't as good as they maybe could be. So that's the real issue, and I think that's the real kind of problem. You don't obviously expect that to be the case, right? If Doc can choose his fights, you usually probably expect, oh yeah, well, he'll pick good fights, right? It's Doc, he's going to be able to take good trades. But yeah, he's just not been able to find that so far over the course of this game. Still looking for it. So we have, well, +2 attack and +1 armor. Or +2 attack and +2 armor. All on the way, so those upgrades do continue into play. It's going to be seeing the Oracles come back through for a few more drones as well, so we've been keeping that drone count lower, if where possible. We've killed about 6 this game. It's not been super crazy on the drone kills, don't get me wrong. The Oracles have been active, they have been consistent. Doc moving away from purely the Lings, which we were seeing prior to this. I'm going to go for a little bit of a different setup. As Oracle comes back through the top side. So we'll continue to hang around. It's going to be seeing a couple cannons still coming through as well. And of course the Oracle, very important just for keeping information and keeping you up to date as to what's going on, where things are going on, and everything else, right? So important that we keep moving in that regard. Seeing our Roach is going to start busting through some rocks. Baneling speed on the way. We know how important that will be. Banelings with the +2 melee. That's going to be a very important part of this, in fact, as we just have our Hive continue along. Temple Archives is about to finish up, and a couple of additional gateways are coming through here, so we need to bring all of this into play. Just going to be seeing our feelings getting a wrap around on a few of these Zealots as well, so a little bit of a wrap here, see what we can do. We've seen our units being forced back, so for the moment here has to take a step away, and we'll not be able to do too much else just yet. It's going to be seeing the Lings and the Roaches all still gathering up together, and Adrenal Glands Burrow. I mean, Dog just getting more and more upgrades and more power into his army. herO, I mean, you can say the same for him, right? High Templars and Immortals, Archons being morphed. These are all things which are going to help him out massively, and I really do mean in a massive way, because these are the tech units that make it very difficult for Doc to trade against. If you have these tech units in good numbers, Dark kind of needs a lot of tech of his own, and right now he's getting a lot of the tech upgrades, but he doesn't have a lot of tech units. So these are the exact kind of units you want as hero to keep yourself as safe as possible. And these upcoming few minutes against Dark give you the best possible chance of being successful here. So we've seen our Stalkers actually durbing a little bit, kind of walking headfirst into all of this, so that's not exactly ideal. See our Stalkers and our Archons continue across. 19 probes have already gone down, so counterattacks are huge on the side of Dark, so that's already going very nicely. So you're seeing our Lings coming across as well, these Stalkers coming through. The Stalkers in the end have to recall back home, so just ended up in trouble, and again, you took a lot of damage during this as well, so really not ideal so far. In fact, going quite miserably for you, to say the very least. So, yeah, not great. Not great at all. So we've seen our Lings continue to move around. A couple more probes coming up. Lings, Roaches, Banelings, all in production at the moment. So all of this out and around. Just going to see our Stalkers nuking through a couple of Crypt Tumors as well. Now the Lings looking to wrap around those Stalkers, looking to try and clean those out. And the Stalkers have to keep on running away here. I mean, Dark is just keeping up with the aggression, right? He is not slowing this down in the slightest. Just going to keep this rolling, keep this rolling. There's just no reason for him to stop the pressure, right? I mean, hero's army is looking reasonable still. But if he can keep hero on low economy, on less bases than he wants to be on, for example, these are the sort of situations where you really can do very well for yourself. So, yes, like this a lot for the moment, I would say. It's just going to be seen our Roaches kind of getting jumped on. Stalker's going to get a bit of a blink forward there, and doing pretty well to trade out for a couple of moments as well. Going to jump on this base on the top side also, just going to knock this down a little bit, so make some progress here. Stalkers, once again, just back in the corner. We just cannot seemingly get a good fight that kind of works consistently here at all. As hero, he just cannot take a good enough trade twice in a row. I mean, even if he's had one in a row, I feel like the last few fights have been pretty good for Dark. 17k to 15k definitely does suggest that for sure. It's going to be seeing this base going down. I mean, hero is finding some damage. It just feels like Dark is really wiping hero's army repeatedly, and Dark's army is just that little bit easier to rebuild in these situations, and that's, again, going to be, I suppose, in the end, a big part of the problem, I imagine. Those 3 missiles coming up, just going to be seen our War Prism still set to maybe try and get something more done here. Got a few moments of, well, setting up, right? And at the moment, that's going to include a little bit of having to kind of rebuild here as hero. I mean, he's, again, not in a terrible place, I want to say. It does feel as though Dark's had the better end of a lot of these trades, and I feel like that especially could be quite problematic, still moving through from this position, so still definitely some problems here as we continue with Forge and whatever else we can get going. We do see a big fight And don't get me wrong, herO has a lot of good tech, right? He has a lot of stuff that could go very well for him, I feel like. Let's see, the fungal growth's keeping these Archons back, though, and obviously if you can kite away from Archons and they can't deal damage, then that's going to be brilliant. So, making some good progress there straight away. These Archons kind of not doing great. I mean, the issue is, I think, is just the Immortals aren't part of this fight when they really should have been. If these Immortals were able to be part of this fight basically throughout, I don't think this would have been an issue at all. Obviously, that's not quite the way that this is turning out to be, though, so... It's going to be seen as Skogs continue to fight. These Roaches continue to take a lot of the damage here. A lot of hits being made against this, and... yeah, definitely seeming to be rather problematic. All said and done. And it's just going to be seen. Angron's going to go down. I mean, Dark's supply is dropping. He gets over here. He's going to fight these Zealots. That is going to be another recall that has to be popped pretty much straight away. So that recall comes through. The drones get done, bro. They can go elsewhere. herO is on 5 bases. So, you know, maybe herO is getting the better end of this in the end. I really felt like Dark was doing a good job controlling, disrupting, but maybe he's just a little bit too stuck on Roach Ravager at this point. And that can happen, right? But you just play this kind of game, which is being very focused on, you know, lower tech units, and eventually it's like, well, hey, that's great and all, but what about the fact that we need some higher tech units here to really be okay? I think that is the issue that we're currently running into. That is the problem that we now have, and that may be just where Dark kind of, you know, flounders and fails a little bit because he doesn't have an answer for the higher tech units. He's being kept busy, and he's been keeping herO busy. But that kind of works in both ways. If Dark hasn't been able to find a chance to tech up, he might have just been hurting himself in all of this because he hasn't ended the game with all of the aggression he's been applying, even though it kind of felt as though Dark probably would have had the chance at some point here to probably have been able to end the game, right? A lot of very fun questions to be asked, and while we see Zealots and Archons over here going to knock down another base, it feels as though Dark really is going to start running out of options. And that herO is truly going to be in control, because Dark doesn't really have any money left over right now either. So pushing through this, it does look as though, well, I mean, Dark's obviously counterattacking, so that's one way at least to still keep some, get some pieces going, I guess. It's just a fun game, isn't it? Through and through, this is actually just a very fun game of StarCraft 2. Ravager's going to get caught a little bit, going to get surrounded. Here's the issue, right? Can these Ravagers hold on for themselves? Because if they don't hold on, I feel like you really are in a lot of trouble. I feel like then you are probably going to be feeling a bit rough for yourself. So, yeah, it's going to be enough for herO to actually take this victory, guys. He is going to get the win. And herO brings out the 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 final after a pretty exciting back and forth. Ready to roll. As in the bottom right side, Dark is the blue Zerg. On the other side, it is herO, our pink Protoss. Get this all up, rolling, ready to party. And this finals of ESL Open Cup number 157, working our way through these games. It's been fun, honestly, really has been a fun set of games, hasn't it? Very enjoyable so far. Excited to see. Well, the rest of it, I mean, this entire term has been enjoyable. Obviously, the series is just really getting going, but excited to see what more we can get out of this series. In particular, herO has a 1-0 lead, but obviously that's a long way before seeing the end of this, so I suppose we will find out soon enough. Nelly getting surrounded. Man, I don't know what it is. This map really makes me feel as though the angle of the camera is wrong. It must just be the way that the map's laid out and the bases are laid out, but it doesn't matter how much I do it. I feel like consistently that the map's laid out incorrectly, and I'm like, I'm so confused. What's going on? Cannot deal with this. So it's weird how it makes you think like that. Very weird. Alright then, guys. As we get set up, we get things going. see what sort of fun we're going to be having here. All of this setup, just going to be seeing our Adept Chrono boosting away. Stargate coming online. Just kind of coming up for the moment. So yeah, so far so good. Getting things settled, on the way. A whole bunch of production on the way out to start us off in this game. We see now Overlord obviously trying to sneak in for some information. Would love to, find out earlier that this is a Stargate, for example. So that would be fine. Pretty good information to have, etc., etc. And we see our Queen coming over. A little bit of damage being done. Nothing too major. Nothing too wild. And we see now our Adept kind of shading on by there. Gonna be having our drones mining away. Adept obviously pulls back. Do you have an Oracle on the way here to start us off? I think that's kind of the expectation and kind of what we're going to continue to see a lot of here as well. So, not really surprised or anything by that. Yeah, a lot of stuff kind of going as we kind of expected to for the moment. Just again setting up Flare on the way. Kind of fast Flare, I guess, is going to be our first real point of intrigue here, where things are not quite as they usually would be. That definitely is a little bit different and a little bit off from, like I say, the expectation that we typically see. So, yeah, something a little different. Should be fun. Maybe seeing a couple of Oracles coming through, and they actually do pretty well getting a bit of damage done as well. It's just going to be able to do okay right there. Pushing that back just for the moment. Oracle hanging around the side. Would like to get potentially involved a little bit. Oracle's actually going to get rid of both these queens, perhaps, and going to get rid of one, going to get rid of two. And she works really nicely. So a couple of kills, but they've got a Nidus coming up in the main. So hero's going to have to play defensive here. That's going to be something that he just has to go and deal with right now. So where we go, Oracles are going to activate. The Nidus is going to go down, and the queens are going to be in some damage, or some trouble. So that just gets denied pretty much instantly. We couldn't get heals off in time. It's going to see the Oracle still activating. These few Lings getting chased away for a couple moments. So far, so very good there, as our next Nidus is going to get up. We transfuse it as well, so we'll finally keep one of these guys alive. It's obviously very good news, because obviously wasn't going great up until this point. So it's nice to actually be able to keep this up and rolling this time around. Looking a little bit better for you. Job well done. 8 probes. 9 probes going down, and actually Dark finally able to get some damage done here in general, so doing pretty well for himself. Gonna see a couple more probes still being nibbled away at here, and damage still being done as our Lings come through, pylon, etc. Next is taking some damage. I mean, herO has to start stabilizing against this, otherwise it's going to get out of hand way too quickly. So, time to start figuring this out, else we are just going to simply be in too much trouble. Have ourselves the couple of Oracles still getting to work. They are not messing around at all, are they? Smoke is still trying to fight, still trying to do whatever he can, still just trying to trade out the best of our abilities. I mean, the oracles keep going down, the pylon's being denied, so you don't get any of these upgrades that maybe could have helped herO as well. And he doesn't have the army supply anymore, so he's going to have to keep pulling pros against, to help out units that are just unupgraded. Realistically, these queens could probably go and help out against the stalkers and the probes, because right now they're just hitting pylons that aren't really changing much. Maybe now, talking to the top right pylon, stopping the upgrades would be really nice, but obviously this is already a done deal. And Dark is going to find game 2 of this best of 5, tying this series up 1-1 in our... Did we see any Royal Blood already? I feel like we really didn't, which is surprising to me, because this is kind of just a pretty standard map. Pretty solid map at that as well, honestly, so kind of a little surprising. Yeah, I mean, I guess let's see what happens continuing on as we get up and running. Just gonna have our top right side. Blue Zerg is gonna be Dark. And in the bottom left, our pink Protoss player will be herO. Game number 3. Of course, best of 5 here. So winner of this will be on match point, but we'll not have had it won just yet. Important to note. Make a little bit of a difference as you just have an Overlord scouting around. Couple drones coming up, hatchery coming through, gateway, probe, etc. All being brought up for the moment. Hatchery gas and pool all being produced, and again the gateway at the front. Waiting to see what sort of tech herO will bring. It's been obviously Stargate so far in these games, so maybe time for something a little bit different, perhaps, possibly, maybe. I suppose we'll be finding out very soon whether that will be true or not. Alright, so some little bits of damage being done, nothing too substantial. Not just yet, at least, and kind of moving by. At the moment, this probe obviously just gonna again nibble up wherever possible, but like I say, for the moment, nothing too crazy in these early few moments. So yeah, really just waiting on kind of the tech choice to come on through here. I think will be the most interesting part of this for the early few minutes. So waiting on that. Get that up to go. And get this truly underway. Fun, fun, fun. As we get this started, do you see our little lings gonna go and nibble up a little bit? There's a Stargate again, so we do see where herO is planning to take this, at least for the next few minutes. There's not really too many question marks in that regard, I suppose, as we just again move along, get going, see what's going to happen over this next little while. Stalker tries to get an Overlord, is unable to. I mean, obviously herO could maybe go into a faster Twilight after all of this as well, if he really felt the need to try and change this up and to do something truly different here. That is a possibility. So that is something we could perhaps see towards the end as we continue along. Because yeah, Warp Gate is going to be finishing soon. So for the moment, we're just going to go into a second Oracle. We'll keep up with this and see what the plan becomes as a Roach Warren starts from Dark, so maybe not as Ling focused this time around, could be a little different there. You already see the Adepts making their way across to the other side as well, so they're going to continue through. And yeah, the drones just keep on mining away a little bit as well, so getting some work in, getting some progress made, just for these early stages. Gonna see a couple oracles trying to make their way around and see if they can get anything particularly exciting going on. Just gonna be seeing a couple oracles make their way forward. Just going to be seeing how roaches all producing. So only 38 drones and a ton of roaches from Dark. You got to expect that he is going to turn this into some amount of aggression himself here over these next few minutes. So expecting that to be a factor very shortly, as we do have these queens marching across the map. So here we go. I mean, this is it. The queens are going to march. The roaches are being made. There's going to be full-on aggression mode here out of Dark. So he's just going to try and win this game quickly, easily here on Royal Blood. Does not want to let this go into much more of a macro game or anything of the sort. So yeah, like I say, Revelation is on these queens, so at least keeping track of this, we do at least know that that is happening as we get started. And just going to be seeing our Ravagers coming through the front. Obviously a lot of corrosive bars available. herO has got some stasis walls to try and help us out. He's going to lose his forward gateway pretty much straight away though, so forward gate going down. Just going to be seeing the queens starting to whack that warp gate, and now just going to start flooding links in. That's where the stasis ward should help a little bit. Because the bars, though, are very powerful and currently in good numbers. And it feels as though Dark might just have too much for herO to hold on against. herO doesn't quite have Blink ready. He doesn't have +1 ready. Obviously, with the queens, your Stargate opener defense is not really going to do anything for you. So that's kind of the issue, right? That you're beginning to face in this. Is that you just don't have any preparations really in play at all as herO, and that is starting to become very costly, and you're starting to be, quite frankly, just heavily punished for that lack of preparation. Lings and Ravagers continue to chase up into this main base, so looking very good there, and again, just going to continue to chase through. herO going to lose to, well, a couple of very typical Dark plays in a row, right? A Nidus all in, a bit of a Green Walk. Just typical Dark, in-your-face aggression, doesn't care about you or your plans or whatever you wanted to do in this game, is just super ready to play aggressively, catch you off guard, and like I say, just not let you play your game at all. And is right now doing a very good job of that, as he continues to just knock herO down way before you get set up into really anything of note here. GG's, and Dark finds himself the opportunity to force GG from herO. And it's going to be up 2-1. Match point for Dark here in this best of 5 final. Dark, strong, very well collected. Down side is where we start. This is going to be with the Teal Zerg player who is now on match point. This is Dark. And of course, his opponent down in the bottom right-hand side is going to be herO. He's been very good at just kind of disrupting early the last couple of games to start taking some advantages in this series. And maybe just stays on those quicker, more aggressive styles now that he's already seen that they're working. We'll see. Like I say, maybe time for herO to adapt, because Dark just did obviously not the same thing twice in a row, but it was the same idea twice in a row, right? Of, hey, I'm going to attack you, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to be in your face, I'm going to do something you're not really expecting me to do. Just going to basically take advantage of that and basically see if you can deal with it or not. And so far, herO has not dealt with it at all, right? So let's find out if we can fix the problem here. Hatch gas starting up right away. We see our Nexus coming down, getting that set up. Just going to be seeing the hatch gas pool getting set up. This is obviously herO getting in position initially and being able to deny the initial kind of hatchery location on the usual natural. So it's going to force that slightly out of position. It's something we see all of the time, so it really isn't very weird or unexpected. It's very much so the norm. It's going to be seeing our couple of queens and everything on the way with link speed as well. So again, just a lot of the kind of expectations being met here early on in this game. Link speed continues up. And it is once again a Stargate from herO. So he's really going to stick by this Stargate. He really believes this is the way to get set up in these games. He doesn't see it going any other way. No just immediate Twilight cancel plays or anything. Doesn't feel like that's going to work out against Dark. Maybe a bit afraid of just Dark being super aggressive immediately could be kind of an issue, right? So then he feels the need to perhaps just go Stargate to keep himself safe. That could be a possibility. Not saying it's a guarantee, but it could be a reasoning behind this choice. Not that Stargate's like weird or like, oh my god, he's playing Stargate every game, what's he doing? Like, it really isn't that strange. It's just, you know, maybe I just wonder if there is kind of something of a reason behind it more so than just like, yeah, it's good, you know? Because it absolutely could be. And hero's not the sort of player to necessarily just always play the same thing and just to stick to one thing as well, right? I think that's also kind of to note here, right? herO is the kind of player that will mix it up, change it up, and do things differently sometimes, so. Couple of good questions to be had. Anyways. Yeah, so settling down. He's just going to have the Adept showing up to do a little bit of damage. Country coming online. It's going to be seeing the Adept making its way out and around. It's going to be seeing the Lings, Overlord, etc. All of this being brought in. The Oracle being produced up as well for the moment. So bringing all of this in right now. There's our Nexus just coming up on the third base. And again, just playing the Oracles for the moment. That's going to be the plan. That's going to be how we go about this. That's how we try and get things done. It's going to be seeing a couple of pylons coming online. And yo, what's up, Hummy255? Thank you so much for the 2-month resub on the Prime. Much appreciated, and thank you for your generosity. Thank you very much. Couple of queens already getting onto the Oracles there, so putting a little bit of pressure on. And this is going to be seeing the Revelation goes down. Well, the upgrade continuing up. This is going to be seeing Oracle activates to get rid of the Creep Tumor for just a couple of moments as well. Doing a decent job of that as our Twilight Council is about to finish up here. Blink already producing. So herO is going to show us a lot of gates, a Blink, no Forge or anything, so actually probably pretty aggressive on these Blink Stalkers. Maybe one that even looks to end this game more so than playing the longer game scenario. That, of course, could be very interesting, so I'm intrigued, to say the least. I'm intrigued to see what we're about to have happen in these next few minutes, because this could be very interesting. That Blink still working around for the moment. Let's see a few more Stalkers warping in. Battery in the mineral line. It's going to be aggressive, guys. I mean, we're talking about 7 gates, Blink Stalkers. And this game, Dark is just droning away. He's not tech super quick or anything, but he is droning a lot, and he doesn't know what's happening. And if Dark isn't ready for this, then hero's going to hit him and say, hey, you know, have a taste of your own medicine. Look, you know, you've been super aggressive onto me. I'm going to be super aggressive onto you. I'm going to come in and we're going to fight. And herO obviously feels like this is going to be very good for him, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it, obviously. So, see if that is something that will transpire here and really show its true value. As we get set up now. The Lings start to see that some of these Warpins are coming in, and this is going to be the Oracles revelating to get rid of some of the creep. A lot of Lings being made, Spine Crawlers as well. Will that be enough? All joined up together here, or is it not? That is going to be a good question, isn't it? As our Stalkers coming through, just going to see our drones continue to follow around. This is what catches a few of those drones. The Queens come in, the Lings continue in. I mean, 11 drones dead already is already a good start. I mean, it mostly feels like Queens in this fight. These Queens are going to run out of energy soon, and when that happens, it's going to be a problem for Dark, who I think is already just in troubling situation here. It's going to be seen how Stalkers continue to go after those drones. Blinking forward, a Queen is going to go down. Overlords as well. This Ward goes up, catches a couple of those lings. This queen goes down as well. The Overlord is gonna get picked off. Now he's gonna come forward looking for these couple of spine crawlers. Oracles to pull away once more. He's gonna get one spine, just gonna look for the other, and just gonna be seeing these feelings still moving through. I mean, at this point, there's no defense really available. Dark Supply does not cut it. We're going to a game 5 between these two. That's gonna go the distance. This one is gonna be a full series, huh? herO 2-2 with Dark, just like that. Like I say, 2-2, all tied up. On the top right side from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dragon Phoenix Gaming showdown here today. It is going to be Dark. Oh, 12 pool in this final game. How interesting. Bottom left, pink Protoss is going to be herO. Then, guys. Trying to boost in the way. A few probes on the way out. And wait to see what will happen here on Ancient System. I feel like we didn't see this map a lot today either, so kind of interesting. We saw a lot of the same maps and then a couple of different ones towards the end here. Couple gates. Just going to be going down as we have a straight up proxy hatch here as well. So 12 pool, proxy hatching. Pro Nibbler and Hatchery obviously trying to force a block here. We have another drone that wants to build a real natural hatchery, getting into positions to setting that up. As the first few lings about to arrive, I feel like herO set up pretty well against this though, right? He's got the Zealot here, he's got a couple of probes, the wall off is obviously pretty reasonable at this point in time. This thing's trying to turn onto that Zealot now, trying to sneak by, gonna try and get the Zealot kill, and the Zealot gonna go low, Zealot is gonna die. A couple of probes trying to fight back, and just gonna be seeing this hatchery still coming through. The lings will latch themselves onto this pylon. I'm just gonna see the lings turn that around, the Zealot continue to fight. Just gonna be seeing Let's continue to have a go as best as possible against this Zealot here. Let's continue to trade out as well as we possibly can. I mean, honestly, this wasn't bad. We lose 2 Zealots for 8 lings. The Adept is now out. The hatchery will finish, and that's going to be potentially a problem to continue with. We get a battery down before anything else, before any creep blocks it, so you can get the battery in play. I think that's obviously a pretty important part of this. Otherwise, this maybe could have been perhaps more of an issue. Something else to worry about. Oh, see the couple lings continue to dance around here. It's going to be seen. I mean, 2 Adepts really should be kind of fine in this situation. I feel like there shouldn't be too much of a contest, as you know, especially with batteries as well. And we got all these batteries down again. I think importantly to note, you got those batteries down before you have the you know, creep spread blocking them from going down, because then it would have been very difficult to make this work. As your Adepts continue to fight, this Queen is surrounded as it pops out of the hatchery, so I don't feel like that is necessarily going to be able to do too much. Just going to be seeing our Adepts back onto this hatch. And again, 10 more lings being produced by Dark, but he's down 8 workers, so he needs to do serious damage right here and right now, and he just isn't finding it just yet. We'll continue fighting into the main base. Twilight Council going down. That's going through. Just going to get rid of a lane. Queen still taking some damage and just continuing onto this hatchery. So the hatch is taking a few more shots. Maybe having that one. Adept just gets out of reach. The Queen comes back in, survives. The Lings don't reach it either. I mean, this hatchery's going to be dying. The Lings on the other side will maybe try and make an attempt with the Broodlings, but I mean, there's just nothing there. It's going to be GG's, and that's going to be game, guys. And that is going to be herO taking it 3-2 over Dark, winning this out. GG's. herO 3, Dark 2. And Dark really getting a little bit